In the society that we live in today, that we find that is so morally corrupt, that has evil widespread and darkness has engulfed everybody, subhanAllah, you stand out, you stick out like a sore thumb. Why? You see, where everybody's walking around and guys have girlfriends and girls have boyfriends and they go to nightclubs and they go to parties and they just have friends of the opposite gender, where they steal, where they cheat, where they lie, where they take what is not theirs, where they will do whatever it is necessary to make their money, where they do whatever is necessary to get by, to do what they think is right, to feed into their desires. Why don't you fit in? Why don't you take part in all of that immorality, that corruption? Why don't you? Why do you look weird? Why do you have that scarf on your head? Why do you have a beard? Why do you get up and pray? I mean, why aren't you stealing like the rest of us? What, do you think you're so good? Why aren't you taking part in this? Why aren't you using bad language? Why are you not falling into the sin like the rest of us? What makes you so special? What makes you so weird? You are weird. You are strange. Something's wrong with you. But you see, subhanAllah, the beauty of that is that the fact that you do not fit in is something you should take pride in, because as a Muslim you aren't meant to fit in. You are not meant to fit in today's society, because we are engulfed in darkness, and as a Muslim you are a reflection of the light, the nur, the hidayah of Allah. And the Prophet ﷺ said this so beautifully. He says, أتى الإسلام غريبا وسيعود غريبا فطوبى لغرباء طوبى لغرباء طوبى لغرباء. Islam came as a stranger. You see, at that time the society was also engulfed in darkness, where corruption was widespread and evil was everywhere. Everybody was sinning left and right. Immorality was widespread. There was no concept of decency. There was no concept of self-worth and value. That was absent. That was non-existent. But then Islam came and it was weird. It was strange. People didn't accept it right off the bat because they found this challenging their very beliefs and their very way of life. And so it was seen as a stranger. And then it got normalized into society. And we had the greatest empire of all times. An empire that we should be proud of. An empire that we should understand. We should strive to learn from our history so that we could understand ourselves better. And to teach our children, who are the next generation, who should live by the morals and the values that were brought by this deen and embodied by the society at that time. But you see, until that time comes, and when it does come, we will be seen again as strangers, subhanAllah, because society will once again fall into the darkness that it fell into 1400 years ago. And it is that time that you and I are meant to stand up. You and I are meant to be different from society, because we are meant to embody those values, those philosophies, those teachings, those morals and those principles that were given to us, given to you and to me by our Creator, subhanAllah. And this is where the Prophet ﷺ has promised that there will be glad tidings to the strangers. So you shouldn't hold your head down. You should stand up with pride. When you stand up and you don't take part in what society is doing, when you stand up and wear that scarf, when you get out of the way and go to pray, when you do not take part in riba, don't take part in selling haram things to earn a haram income just so that you can get by, just so you can say, well, it's okay, everybody else is doing it. When you don't do that and you stick out, then you should take pride, because that means that you are not a part of the darkness. And by God's will, grace, and mercy, you are that source of light that is ever so needed in the abundant darkness we find ourselves in. So glad tidings to the strangers, and may Allah make us of the strangers in a society that we find ourselves in today. Barakallah fikum. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.